Woke and Ready TV. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you be notified every time I drop some content. And we gonna get right into it, yo, because this is no BS. Andrew Tate said it the best. You know what I mean? It's over. It's over. It's over. It might be a reason why Trump was saying, yo, this might be the last election. If nobody do nothing after all this stuff is out, which I highly doubt if anybody's going to do anything, it's over. The truth is today. It's now. It's now. It's crazy. Yo, just listen to what Andrew Tate have to say, man.
If nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, you may as well give up on politics. If the fact that we now have confirmation that what the conspiracy theorists have been saying for years is true, that Pizzagate is real, and that there's no such thing as left and right, there's no such thing as a sovereign nation, there's just ultra wealthy people exploiting the poor to the point where they can get little girls and do whatever they want to them on an island, and all the evidence of it can exist, and instead of there being any repercussion at all, it's going to be discussed a little bit by a few people on Twitter, and they're going to continue doing exactly as they did before. If nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, if there's no mass raids, mass arrests, mass public trials, you may as well just give up on politics. May as well just give up. The system is so rotten, it's never going to be fixed. Even transparency isn't fixing any of this stuff. And the reason for it is not because the elites are actually so smart. It's not because they have all this power. It's because the crowd is apathetic. You care because you're on the internet, you're on Twitter. You might be watching this video on Instagram and you mentioned it to your friends sometimes. But by and large, nobody gives a shit. They've got us so distracted trying to pay our own bills, arguing with each other, have a problem with our neighbor over the lawn being mowed, don't like a black guy, don't like a white guy, don't like Mexicans. They put Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. He speaks Spanish. That distracted most of you. What were you watching the Super Bowl in the fucking first place for? Who gives a shit? The fact that they can distract people so easily, they can divide people so heavily, means that most people at home are apathetic. They don't give a shit. If you walk around, I'm in New York now, you walk around New York and say, have you heard about the Epstein thing? Most people will go, yeah, I heard. But they don't really care because they got to pay their bills and they have enough problems and they're stressed enough and they weren't there and it's someone else's problem to fix. They've got us so massively demoralized to the point now that every single conspiracy theorist can be proven true, and that you can know you are paying taxes to evil billionaires who intend on raping your daughters, and still, no one's gonna do shit, nothing's gonna happen. The system's gonna keep on limping on, and you're gonna pretend that this Epstein expose fixed something. Oh yeah, I'm sure Epstein was the only man who knew girls for the elites, I'm sure. Anyone who's been anywhere near the top, let me tell you, there's plenty of guys like him. Plenty.
Here we go again. Listen, I took a long time off of like social media talking about all this political shit and all that. And these Epstein files has gotten people riled up again. You know what I don't understand? You know what I mean? I'm smart enough to know that facts aren't facts no more in today's age. It's all about what you believe. When a motherfucker believes something to be true, they don't really need anything to debunk it because they believe that in their soul. And that goes down to religion or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? If you believe the news and you watch the news, whatever they tell you, you're going to believe that shit. Life is all about perceptions and perspectives. We can read the same book and get two different perceptions, and have two different perspectives. But what I don't get is, how can you debunk somebody's telling you what they saw or what they experienced? If a motherfucker got up here and said, I was on Epstein Island and I saw these people eating children and this, that, and the third, then you got like 10 to 20 other people telling you what they saw. Then you have videos of this shit. How can you say that never happened? Motherfuckers is really crazy, yo. That's really crazy. Now, the other shit, all the other shit from back in the day, the religious shit and all that. I mean, nobody was really, no, you have nobody that's alive, that was alive back in them days that could tell you, though, this is how it really happened or this is what it means. So, for all that, we got to take for face value. We got to read it and, you know what I mean? We, interpret it the best way we could. But if a motherfucker telling you such and such did this, that, and the third to me, you know what I mean? How can you say they're lying? See, now I know why a lot of people don't be coming out saying anything when they was a victim of certain shit, because you got some crazy people out here that would still call them liars and call them delusional. And, you know what I mean? People is really fucked up. It's really unbelievable. But, you know what I mean? Facts are basically, like today's facts are basically whatever you believe. You know what I mean? You have fact checkers and shit like that all on Facebook in 2020, 2021. You know some shit, you read some shit, you know what I mean? And you got all the information and you put it out there and here come a fact checker. No, actually, this, that, and the third. And they debunk everything you said, but you got all this proof. So now their truth now becomes the truth. What makes you think the shit that you know is the truth and everybody else is just full of shit or they don't know something? Motherfuckers is really crazy, yo.